The forgotten riders of the Eternal Steppe. Across the vast windswept plains of central Kazakhstan, where the endless grasslands stretch toward distant horizons broken only by low ridges and rolling hills, the earth keeps the memory of an ancient people beneath its surface. Rising faintly from the plains lie pairs of stone-covered mounds known to archaeologists as the Tasmala chains, these silent formations dating between the 8th and 3rd centuries before our era mark the resting places of a nomadic culture called the Tasmala. Their traces are subtle, nearly lost within the immensity of the steppe, yet their presence compels us to ask what kind of world these early riders once created. The Tasmala culture is best recognized through its cairns, the paired burial mounds that scatter across the land, one mound larger and the other smaller, linked by a line of stones stretching between them like a bridge through time. Some researchers view this design as practical, perhaps a leader buried beside a trusted companion. Others see symbolism within the layout, a reflection of balance and duality, life and death, earth and sky, sun and moon. These ancient earthworks might have been a cosmic diagram carved into the living steppe itself. Within these tombs, archaeologists have uncovered fragments of a vanished way of life, iron swords and daggers resting beside the bones of their owners, ornaments of bronze and gold. Speaking of craftsmanship and wealth, the bones of horses buried with their riders appear again and again. For the Tasmala, the horse was more than an animal, it was a partner in survival, in war, in migration, and in spirit. Were these horses meant to carry their masters into the afterlife, or did their burials signify a bond between man and beast that not even death could break? Beyond weapons and adornments lie other clues: small altars carved of stone, clay vessels, and tiny animal figurines, some crudely shaped, others intricate and deliberate, each a fragment of a forgotten ritual. Were these offerings to ancestors, to unseen deities, or to the spirits of the land itself? No written words remain to explain the meaning behind these sacred acts. Their beliefs survive only through the artifacts they left behind and the quiet of their burial grounds. The harsh environment of the central steppe shaped every part of their existence. Freezing winters and burning summers demanded constant movement, resilience, and mastery of animals. Like many nomadic peoples, the Tasmala built no cities and raised no monuments. Their civilization thrived through mobility, skill, and an intimate understanding of the land. Yet the construction of their burial chains hints at aspirations beyond survival. The mounds were often raised on high ground, some aligned with the sun and stars, leading scholars to wonder whether these nomads were watchers of the heavens, recording celestial cycles across the face of the earth itself. Cultural echoes link them to the Scythians. Horse burials, iron weapons, and the rhythms of a nomadic life resonate across the Eurasian steppe. Yet the Tasmala were not merely Scythian. Their burial designs and artifact styles mark a distinct identity, separate and self-defined. Were they a branch of the larger steppe world, or ancestors of later Turkic and Kazakh peoples who preserved fragments of their traditions in song and legend? Theories reach even further, suggesting the paired mounds may have served not only as graves but as observatories aligned to solstices and equinoxes, or ritual spaces where clans gathered to bind the living to their dead and to the eternal cycle of the natural world. By the 3rd century before our era, the Tasmala vanished from the archaeological record. Did they merge into larger nomadic confederations, or fade through conflict or climate change? Steppe cultures leave few monuments of their passing, only scattered artifacts, bones, and the mute endurance of stone mounds. Walking among them today, the silence of the steppe feels immense. The wind sweeping across ancient ground, the mounds rise gently against the horizon, their stones worn by centuries of sun and storm. One can almost imagine the funerals that once took place, riders dismounting, fires burning in the dusk, songs carried away by the endless wind. What did they believe? They were sending their dead toward a journey among the stars, a reunion with ancestors, or a return into the living earth itself. Who were these Tasmala riders? Were they fragments of the Scythian world, or something singular, a culture whose vision of existence survives only in stone and silence? Did their burial chains trace the paths of constellations, or the invisible bonds between spirit and man? Beneath the grass and soil on excavated mounds still rest untouched, waiting perhaps to reveal the deeper story of the Tasmala nomads who once called the endless steppe their home. The lost empire beneath the Highland sky. Amid the steep mountains and deep carved valleys of northern Ethiopia, where the earth rises and falls in vast waves of stone, stand ancient monuments that seem untouched by time. Immense obelisks hewn from single blocks of granite pierce the horizon, their surfaces carved with intricate imitations of windows and doors, the likeness of towering palaces shaped into living rock. Some still rise proudly against the sky, while others lie shattered upon the ground as though felled by unseen hands. These are the stelae of Aksum, the enduring relics of a kingdom that flourished nearly 2 millennia ago, a realm whose reach once spanned across the Red Sea and whose mysteries continue to reverberate through the corridors of history. The kingdom of Aksum emerged around the 1st century of our era, rising as one of the great powers of the ancient world. Its capital city, also named Aksum, became a thriving hub of wealth, culture, and diplomacy. From its strategic position in the Horn of Africa, the Aksumite state commanded trade routes that linked the African interior to the ports of the Red Sea. Connecting it to Arabia, India, and distant lands beyond. Gold, ivory, and gemstones flowed through its markets in exchange for spices, textiles, and precious goods. Roman and Persian historians counted Aksum among the four mighty realms of their time beside their own empires and that of China, yet in modern memory its name echoes faintly, overshadowed by others. Why has such a powerful civilization faded from collective awareness? Among the most striking remnants of Aksum's grandeur are its fields of stelae. Some of these granite monoliths soar higher than 70 feet and weigh hundreds of tons. Their construction remains a marvel. The carving, transport, and placement of such immense stones, achieved without the aid of modern machinery, continue to challenge understanding. Were these monuments tombs honoring kings and nobles as they passed into the afterlife, or were they symbols of royal power designed to proclaim authority and legitimacy before both people and rivals? Some of the largest obelisks remain unfinished, perhaps evidence that ambition exceeded the resources of the builders, or that some unknown event halted their work. What inspired this kingdom to invest so much in monuments of stone? Beyond their grand architecture, the Aksumites left behind traces of remarkable sophistication. They were among the earliest African civilizations to mint coins, a mark of political order and economic strength. Their currency, forged in gold, silver, and bronze, bore royal portraits and inscriptions in the ancient Gia script. Early designs displayed the symbols of the sun and moon, reflecting pre-Christian beliefs. Later, these emblems gave way to the cross as Christianity took root under King Ezana in the 4th century, making Aksum one of the world's first Christian states. This transformation reveals a people open to new ideas and influences, a kingdom on the edge of the known world that nonetheless became a beacon of faith and culture. Religion adds a deeper layer to the enigma of Aksum. Ethiopian tradition holds that this kingdom became the resting place of the Ark of the Covenant, the sacred chest said to contain the stone tablets of the 10 Commandments within the Church of St. Mary of Zion. In modern Aksum, it is still claimed that the Ark remains under constant watch, guarded by a single appointed keeper, unseen by all others. Whether one accepts this as history or legend, the association grants Aksum an enduring aura of divine mystery. Could this claim hold echoes of ancient contact between Aksum and the biblical world, or is it the symbolic merging of faith and identity woven through centuries of devotion? The fall of Aksum is as shrouded in uncertainty as its rise. By the 7th century, the kingdom's dominance had waned. Shifting trade routes and the ascent of Islamic powers controlling the Red Sea may have severed its access to vital commerce. Environmental changes, deforestation, soil exhaustion, and drought could have weakened its agricultural heart. Yet Aksum did not vanish entirely. Its cultural and spiritual legacy endured, laying the foundation for medieval Ethiopia. The grandeur of its monuments, however, stands as a haunting reminder of how swiftly greatness can recede from world power to silent ruin. Were its struggles purely economic and environmental, or did internal rivalries hasten its decline? Speculative theories reach beyond conventional explanations. Some scholars suggest that Aksum's influence extended deeper into Arabia, shaping early South Arabian kingdoms. Others imagine that its role in the formation of early Christianity was far more profound than surviving texts record. Perhaps its isolation left vast portions of its story untold, and the mystery of the stelae, whether tombs, symbols, or cosmic markers, remains unresolved. Could their alignments encode celestial patterns, recording astronomical events now lost to time? To walk among the ruins of Aksum today is to feel the presence of the past pressing close. The tall stelae rise like watchful sentinels, guardians of a forgotten empire, their carved surfaces etched with windows and doors that lead nowhere, as though representing the passage between the mortal and divine. Their artistry speaks of vision, imagination, and the power to shape eternity from stone. Who were the Aksumites? Were they merchants and monarchs, masters of trade and statecraft, or visionaries whose reach extended into art, spirituality, and myth, far beyond what history has preserved? What secrets rest beneath the Ethiopian soil, waiting to complete the story of this lost kingdom that once stood among the great powers of its age? In the stillness of Aksum's highlands, the past lingers like a breath upon the wind, and one cannot help but wonder what truths remain hidden beneath the shadow of its ancient stones.